My name is Evelyn Joy and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be my first ever movie review on my channel. And today I'm going to be reviewing the brand new 2019 live action Aladdin. In this movie review, I'm going to be going over the character of Aladdin, the character of Jasmine, the character of Jafar, the character of Genie, the scenery, the music, and the costumes. First, let's talk about Aladdin. First, I want to talk about Aladdin. I feel that the actor chosen for Aladdin was a great choice. And I think he lived up to the expectations of both meeting the character that was already created kind of by Disney, even though there's a backstory from before, right? But he met all of those expectations and added to the character of Aladdin so that we can understand him a little bit more and added depth to the character. His singing voice did not disappoint, although he was not the most extravagant singer in the movie. He did a great job. So he was both true to the character, he added individuality, and he added backstory. Now about the character of Jasmine. Jasmine in this movie, I love her about 10,000 times more than the cartoon. And the one in the cartoon was fine. But this heroine, this hero, this strong woman, this empowered leader, she was brave. She reminded me of Esther from the Bible in that she stood up, she risked her life to save others in the movie, and she sang a new song that was added about not being silenced, and that was sort of her personal pet peeve in the movie, was that people were always trying to control her and always trying to keep her silent. And so she sang about I will not be silenced and how she's going to be a leader. Awesome. Now Jafar. I was very curious about how Jafar would turn out. The reason for that is all of the previews barely even show a sneak peek of Jafar. So I was very curious as to how his character would play out. I especially was curious as a mother of little ones because I did not take them with me. I wanted to see what the movie was like, and my kids are really sensitive to scary stuff, and because I have a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old and a 1.5-year-old, so I decided they're not quite ready for the movie, but other people's kids might be more mature. I went with my friend and her 5-year-old son, and he did great. He loved it. He got teary-eyed but happy tears during the movie. My girls would have been terrified of Jafar. So it really depends on your kid. You know, the whole entire theater was filled with children. A lot of them are around the age of 6. They all loved it. If my kids were about 6, I would totally take them to that. There was nothing inappropriate. There was no sexual innuendos. There was only about 3 kisses in the whole movie, but they were great ones. They were at the right moment, you know what I mean? So, but back to Jafar. Jafar was the epitome of pure evil. And that's what you want in a bad guy, right? Because then his downfall is more joyous, right? So, he basically, his character was a lot more developed in this one. And he was just shown as just getting more and more progressively power hungry throughout the video. The more power he got, the more he wanted, the less compassion or empathy he had for anyone. He seemed to have absolutely zero compassion or empathy. He wanted to lead Agrabah, but he didn't care if he killed all the people in Agrabah to better himself, to become more powerful. So he honestly did not care about anyone. The character of Iago was basically a parrot that repeated things and didn't really keep conversations. The same as Abu, the monkey. He just made noises and he had a little bit of personality, much like the cartoon. And Carpet, having not watched the cartoon for a while, I forgot that Carpet had a personality, but Carpet had the exact same personality as in the cartoon, where he, you know, wants to rescue them and he has a little personality to him, and he just great. There were times in the film that I forgot that this happened in the cartoon because I watched it as a child. Watching it again as an adult but in live action, it was shocking to me that Aladdin, he almost died by drowning. Aladdin, he almost died by being banished to the end of the earth where it was freezing cold. In this version, he literally almost drowned to death, and he literally almost died of frostbite with Abu in his arms. So Jafar was very, very evil, and so all the more emotion and victory when he had his downfall, right at the end. Now I want to talk about the genie. I feel like in making this movie, the elephant in the room is Genie, right? So a lot of people really are hesitant maybe about watching this movie because Robin Williams knocked it out of the park as Genie. He used all of his character and personality and impressions and talents, and he poured it all into this character of Genie. In fact, Genie was kind of based off of Robin Williams. And so for someone outside, hence enter Will Smith, to come in and play that part, he had to do two things, and he did them both wonderfully. He had to respect the memory of Robin Williams in keeping a lot of the Genie similar, and he had to add his own flavor and not copycat another person's personality. So what did Will Smith do? You may or may not know that Will Smith does some hip-hop music. So what he did was he took the song Friend Like Me and he toyed with it and he made it a little bit hip-hoppy. And so we can see his personality coming out while the personality of the Genie that was created by Disney still shines through. So I think it was like walking a tightrope, and they did it. He did a fantastic job. Now I want to talk about the scenery. They really shot the movie in Jordan. This isn't a movie set that was in Hollywood. Yes, they built a lot of the movie set obviously for the time, setting and stuff, but the background, the backdrop, the weather, everything, it really is the Middle East. The final thing I want to talk about is the costumes. The costumes in this movie were better, if I may be so bold, were better than the Disney cartoon. And in some of the interviews they talked about, why didn't Aladdin go shirtless with just the vest? And it's because they were trying to be true to the original story, but also true to the culture, and people don't dress like that in the desert. One thing Aladdin said, in the actor that played Aladdin, he said in his interview, and he said, if someone really dressed like that in the desert, they would get so scorched by the sun. In the desert, people wear long sleeves but very light clothing. And also in India and around that area in the Middle East, they wear a lot of bright colors. So the costumes were gorgeous and they were true to the area. So all in all, I give Aladdin 5 stars, 5 full stars, and I thought it was the best movie. If you didn't tell already, it's my brand new favorite movie. Alright, I hope this movie review was fun for you guys. Thanks.